Hey, what's going on everyone? In this video, I'm going to be giving you a demonstration of the official CyanogenMod version of CyanogenMod 10.2 based on Android 4.3. As you can see, I have Android 4.3 on a second generation Nexus 7. As you can see, the logo is vertical. And I'm running, where the heck is it? CyanogenMod 10.2 nightly. Oops, I opened up their Easter egg, I guess. Alright, so I'm just going to give you a demonstration. Now, this demonstration will be the same, the features will be pretty much the same across all devices, except if you're running a phone. The quick settings will swipe down from the right, whereas regular notifications swipe down from the left. So, other than that, it's pretty much, generic features. So no matter which device you're on, you can pretty much see what kind of features are involved in CyanogenMod 10.2. So as for the lock screen, you swipe to the left, you get your regular, add a widget. Swiping to the right does not open up the rear camera for some reason. I'm not sure if that'll differ on a phone, even though I do have a rear camera. Of course, you have the usual Google Now features, swiping up, and you have special unlock features. You can customize these by opening up, say, the music app or text messaging, etc. I'm just going to unlock. You just got a very generic home launcher. Trebuchet is CyanogenMod's home launcher. Nothing too fancy in the apps listing. You got your regular widgets and all that other good stuff. Now, you have, of course, the regular camera app over here, but I'm going to show you something a little neat. I want to show you Focal. Focal is like the exclusive CyanogenMod camera app. I'm not going to show you too many features. I know it's really dark because my camera is right against my monitor, but as you can see, my camera is working. You'll see the camera icon down here. What you can do is tap on it and drag up, and a whole bunch of features will show up. You can either take a photo. I'm going to get a bit closer. You can take a photo, panorama, video, pick sphere, or switch to the front-facing camera. There I am, hello. That's not what really makes it special. I mean, obviously that doesn't make it too great, and pressing here would obviously take a picture. If you're recording a video, then obviously pressing here would record a video. But that's not the cool stuff. The cool stuff is here. I'm swiping down. I'm in obviously portrait mode right now. Gives you a list of all the recently taken pictures. I was just playing around with the camera. It's pictures of my monitor up close. That's my thumb, I think, so you can ignore that. Swiping over this way from the bezel will of course bring a whole bunch of new features here. You get like, oops, the camera's focusing. You get like white balance features. You can change the mode, scene modes of various stuff. I'm not going to go through every single one because it'll make this video way too long and boring. You have HDR modes. As you can see, I turned it off. You get a whole bunch of other effects here. You get, I think this is exposure level. Yes, I believe it is. We'll set that back to 0. Burst shot settings, timer settings. I'll demonstrate something from here really quick. Of course, the usual settings. What you can do is change a whole bunch of other stuff. But basically, you can even change the options itself, like what you want to display in the options here. But let me get rid of all this. Again, I'm not going to show you all these features because, let's face it, on a tablet, the camera's not that great, so it's not much to demo for you guys. The neat thing they added here, this is what CyanogenMod demoed, one of the developers demoed a while back, it's finally implemented, is the speech picture taking mode. Let me see if I can take a picture with the speech mode. Cheese! There, I just captured a picture. I noticed that sometimes it takes 2 pictures. I'm not sure if it's meant to do that or if it's just because it's a nightly. If it's an error, that's still working out some bugs and stuff. But yeah, you have speech picture taking mode, so you don't have to take a timer. And of course, this can all be customized. Let me go through the actual setting. This is like the big chunk of stuff where CyanogenMod really shines. You can alter the home screen, all this other stuff. The lock screen can be customized. You have your generic stuff like the security type, of course. Battery status, you can show slider shortcuts. This is what I was telling you, you can customize these slider shortcuts, and as you can see, you can add 3 more. You can flash hundreds, if not maybe thousands of themes available on the internet. You just gotta search Google. The interface is basically stuff like, say, the status bar. I set it so that, say, for example, up here in the status bar, I have a circle with a battery percentage. I've turned that on. You can change it around. You can have just simply a circle or a percentage or no icon. Quick settings panel is basically this. You can customize this. There are like a ton of different options here. You can add more, remove them, all that good stuff. Expanded desktop is it's basically used for Pi control. I'll show you that just shortly. buttons and layout, you can customize this bar down here. Of course, it's usually if you have a Nexus device or some sort of Android device that does have on-screen control buttons. Quick launch shortcuts is basically this. As you can see, actually, let me show you from here. When you activate Google Now, as you can see, I have a SoundHound icon and a Shazam icon. So I've added these two so that as soon as I swipe up to them, it'll activate Shazam and try to figure out which song is playing immediately. So it's pretty neat. You can add other applications there if you want for very, very quick app launching or contact launching. The notification drawer can be customized. Basically, as you can see, what I've done is added Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, sound, vibrate, on, off, and of course, it doesn't go back to sound mode. I think it's because it's a nightly, still some bugs being worked out, and of course, making the screen go to sleep. So it's basically in standby mode. So you can customize that. You can add a whole bunch of other stuff here to the notification drawer. Okay, so what I've done now is activated Pi control. Let's go back. So I have to swipe up from the bezel. As you can see, that's how I go back. Say I want to go home. Done. So I've activated Pi control. So you'll notice that my on-screen buttons are here. So I get a bit more of the screen space to use. Now, how you want to turn them on, I have a video. In a different video, I'll show you how to get them turned on. I'll put a link to that video in the description below. Basically, I'm going to be turning them off. So it's simple. You just go back to interface, Pi controls, and you can just remove it from here. There's not much from sound. There's just like some stuff you can turn off, warnings. If you plug into headphones, a volume warning. You can even do stuff like while the screen is in standby mode, holding the volume button up or down will either fast forward or rewind a song. Display and lights basically has the very generic stuff, including lights for notification lights down here. You can customize it. You can add certain applications if you want. Say I want to add Bard's Tale for some bizarre reason. I can have notification lights for that and customize how quickly the frequency of the blinking will be. But of course, that's dependent if your Android device does have LED notification lights. Okay, so if we go to buttons, buttons basically changes the power menu here. So let's say right now I have screenshot unchecked. When I open up the power menu by holding the power button, it's not there. If I check screenshot, simple, it's been added. There's one neat feature for those of you that travel a lot. If you go to more, you'll notice that here there's it says launch default music app when headset is connected. That's pretty neat for some people. If you're just on the go, you quickly want to hear some music, as soon as you plug some headphones or something, it'll just launch the music app right away. Now, depending if you're rooted, your rooting program should show a list of what apps have gained root access, but of course there's super user as well, just for additional information if you want. If you go to about phone or about tablet, whatever, here you can check a whole bunch of different stuff, your status, CyanogenMod updates. Okay, basically, let's say I want to look for CyanogenMod updates. Maybe there's a new version of CyanogenMod out or a new lightly. From here you can actually adjust how often you want to see updates. Do you want to see stable versions? Do you want to see only new versions but you don't care if they're stable or not? So let's do all. Right now it's automatically refreshing and I see that, oh, okay, there's been 2 more nightlies released since I've installed this one over here. So you can install new versions of CyanogenMod within that feature. I've actually had bad luck with it. It didn't work for me properly before, but if you want to experiment and try it, then by all means go ahead. CyanogenMod statistics basically sends anonymous data to the CyanogenMod team. I usually have enable reporting enabled just to help them out. Okay, so for those of you, well, you should know if you have CyanogenMod up how to access developer options. Once you access developer options, a new menu actually pops up called performance down here. Performance, it gives you a huge warning because this is some stuff that could really permanently damage your device if you experiment with it. Basically, you have some stuff like the processor, you can change the minimum CPU frequency, maximum, all the other stuff. Personally, I tend to leave it alone and not touch it. But if you're in the mood for experimenting, or if you maybe know what you're doing, by all means go ahead and check it out. But be warned, you could damage your device, as I said. You can pause the video at any point and read these descriptions for yourself. But you do have those options available once you enable developer options like this. There's one more thing I want to show you. If you go about tablet, you'll notice at the bottom under build number, it says SE Linux status. If you tap it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, you get this warning prompt about a security thing. That's also new. I have never seen that before, and that's pretty much it. There's not too much to show you with CyanogenMod. Basically, for those of you who are new to it, you'll notice that it looks relatively the same as stock Android, but any additional options that are available to the user, if you don't activate them, they stayed hidden. But if you want them, you can use them. That's what makes CyanogenMod so great. Overall, even with this nightly, I have to say the battery life on my Nexus 7 is a bit better than stock Android. I noticed that the Android OS doesn't take up as much battery as before. Right now it's pretty high because I haven't used the tablet too much since I last fully charged it. But before, the Android OS was being a huge battery hog compared to now. It would have been a lot worse than it is here. Hope you guys found it useful. If you did, check out my website in the description below. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.